Has a double defeat to Arsenal in recent weeks killed off Wolves' chances of getting into that top 4 area?
Well, before last night's game, they'd won 5 of the last 6 games. They've lost 2 of the last 7, and that was against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And really, they've become sort of head-to-head matches, and you could argue that Wolves may have deserved better in both games, but Arsenal found a way to get something when they were down to 10 men just a couple of weeks ago, away at Wolves. And then the same last night when they looked as if it was all over. It looked as if it was going to, that Wolves looked very comfortable. I'm really impressed with Wolves, the way that they set up their 2 midfield players, Neves particularly running the show, their wing backs.
Yeah.
Semedo went off injured. It took him an age to get off the pitch, and then this drama of time wasting began. And ironically, Arsenal scored the winning goal in the 96th minute.
Sure.
And in a way, Wolves were trying, I think, they felt Arsenal had done that in the previous game where they time wasted. So it got very niggly. The atmosphere, my son was at the game, apparently was absolutely incredible. There's a real unity. Their fans are desperate for Arsenal to do well. And they win again. And it marches forward. 1 game in hand. 2 games in hand from Manchester United with a point just behind. I think Manchester United are in the boss seat. I think
really?
Manchester
United.
I do.
You regard them as favourites ahead of Arsenal to get top 4?
I do really, because it's about consistency. Aubameyang has scored 4 goals in 2 games for Barcelona. Arsenal still having a problem in front of goal. Finding a way to win. I don't think Lacazette scored a goal in open play since December the 12th or whatever it is. It's a long time ago. I do feel they're showing some great character. Pepe coming off the bench managed to explain that one. I thought he did well. That was a good change that he made. But let's see what happens. But Arsenal are still in the mix, and I think that's all the fans need right now, is that hope and belief that they can maybe go on and do it. But only time will tell.
Of all people, I thought, Mr. Keown, you would tell me that Arsenal are favourites.
No, because I'm being realistic. You're going to hear from Conte later, who's a Spurs manager, who's being realistic. And I think people should hear it. And then if Arsenal go on to do it, then I think we can all applaud that and say, well, what a fantastic achievement that was. It's really up for grabs right now. Wolves don't discount Wolves. Spurs, I think, probably are out of it. West Ham been magnificent all season, playing in the Europa League. You don't do that on a Thursday night, travel through that competition and still stay in the fight for the top 4 with the tiniest squad, by the way, in the Premier League. Hardly make any changes at all. So it's commendable what they're doing, but Arsenal are in there nicely. And they benefited from having no European football this season.
Now you are smiling.
Well, I was laughing.
To my right.
I was laughing at the immediate discounting of Tottenham and Wolves still being in it, and Tottenham not.
Tottenham have lost 4 of the last 5 games. Tell me how they look like finishing the top 4.
And obviously in one of those games they beat arguably the best team in Europe. So you can't discount.
What does that tell you?
It tells you that they're a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get, the Forrest Gump analogy. I think ultimately you have to give a lot of credit to Arsenal for yesterday's result, because Wolves have been in very good form. The argument that Wolves don't score enough goals may come back and haunt them, but as a side, they're a very good outfit. There was debates about whether this manager was going to be anything of any substance. Carlos Carvajal came on and said to you and I very early in the season, "Whoa, cowboy, ease up. He'll be fine. You'll see what he's all about." And he's suddenly shown that. I mean, Arsenal have moved through the gears now. I mean, I wanted to ask Martin what he felt about the news that there's a distinct possibility that Arteta was going to get a big extension on his contract. There was a parallel between what Arsene Wenger was being paid and what he is now getting at this stage in his career, i.e. the same sort of salary. But they're talking about giving him another 2 or 3 years on his contract. Do you think he merits that? Do you think Arsenal's progress merits someone being given another 3 years on top of their contract?
I think it's work in progress.
Yeah.
3 years, 2 years. Yeah, I think he deserves a new contract. The length of that deal, perhaps 2 years is fairer, because, we still don't know yet what he's creating. It's now becoming his team, isn't it? Very much his team. You look at the back 4 now.
You had trouble
all his acquisitions.
with him the other day about his inability to be able to have handled Aubameyang. You brought Ozil into the category as well. About this mentality of, if someone gets in his way, he can't manage them out of the situation. He just doesn't like them and gets rid of them. That was sort of the narrative you were taking.
I'm looking for a period of stability and consistency in their performance, and also as well, in terms of this sort of righteous, virtuous behaviour from players. They're all youngsters, really in life, and they're all very different. Aubameyang now is actually finding a pathway because someone's giving him that opportunity at another club. I would have enjoyed having him still as an Arsenal player. I'm going to maintain that view, and it might be that goes against Arsenal in the end.
Well, they're establishing his
you have to manage the club. He has to make decisions, and he's not frightened to make decisions. There's no doubt about that.
They're establishing his authority by saying to him at this stage, right, to the team and to anyone else that listens from the outside, he is now at the wheel. He is in control of the situation, and so much so that we're going to back our long-term future. Now, we all know that economically they can probably pay him out of his contract and not have to pay the full 3 or 4 years if it goes the wrong way. But I do think it's an interesting time. I also think you're absolutely right. I think Manchester United, as clunky as they are and as seemingly out of sorts, are far more potent. They have a far more potent squad, which is why I think they'll get the 4th spot.
Do you know when their manager, who's obviously supposed to be a professor of football, as soon as he can work out the best way for them to play, the best players to play, Manchester United will do it.
I think so too.
At the moment,
I agree.
At the moment,
have you seen hard and fast evidence, either of you, that Manchester United have got it in the locker to be in that top 4 ahead of the likes of Arsenal, who seem to be going there big time?
I think with Pogba and Fernandes, and when you get that cocktail together, I'd be playing a back 3 if I was the manager of that football club. Their Achilles heel is their defence, the way they concede goals so softly, and they're always trying to play catch up within games. But they've definitely got the firepower to do that. Whether they've got the wing back, Shaw might be a good a left back. Does it? Wan-Bissaka's maybe switched out.
But that's a strange one, Martin, because I have to disagree with you there, because we've had the manager come on and talk about psychologists being brought into the mix to say that we need to stop this getting in front of teams and then giving a goal back in the game. So they're not going behind.
No, but at times they are, and it's not always convincing when you're watching Manchester United. And
it's far from
they scored their
convincing.
very first goal from a set piece at the weekend. And Maguire's one of the best headers of football in the Premier League. So you've got to play to your strengths, haven't you? At times, I expect them now to pick up.
I do too.
By the way, I don't enjoy Maguire getting so much stick from everybody that. Okay, and some
he's
top
not very
players.
good.
Well, I don't agree with that, and I
Okay.
think he's an important ingredient. And I think it's about the manager, identifying the right players.
What do you
getting
see with
behind them.
Maguire that others don't?
I just think he's a leader. And I think I'd like to protect him a little bit in a 3. In a 4 at times he can be a little bit
leader
exposed.
in what way? He's not a leader by his performance. Can you imagine putting him in the
I
same
think
bracket as
he
Rio,
is.
Vidic, Japstam? He's not. He doesn't even deserve to be in the same postcode as those
I
guys.
think the Manchester United fans have to realise this is reality and get behind their players, the booing, the discontent.
£80 million of a reality.
I don't think it helps when the teams are being read out and people are booing certain individuals. Get behind your team. You're going through a period at the moment of uncertainty, like every other Premier League team has done over the years. And I don't think it creates
because
the
they
right
don't buy
harmony.
into his claptrap. They don't buy into his formulaic, robotic answers after
Well,
games.
I think-
They don't buy into that sort of.
No, I think
I'm going to manifest what I think
the
I should say
harm's
because
within
it
the
ticks the
dressing room.
boxes.
I think all these stories escaping out far and wide. I think keep everything in house. It was always the case at Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson ran a tight ship there. Nobody spoke out of turn. It was all kept in house. He never criticised his players, and they did the business on the park. I do feel they can turn it around. Don't make excuses. You've got the best set of players.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
if
Or
I
the
was
best
actually an adversary
group, yeah.
in another group, I'd be wanting to take them on. Definitely, I think Arsenal have got a great opportunity to try and squeeze in. Don't discount West Ham, by the way. The way that Ben Rama and Bowen are developing in that team, Antonio as well, has still got gears to go into. He's had a little bit of a dip. Those 2 midfield
So
players
you
for
put
West Ham.
ahead of Arsenal as well to get in?
Well, I'm just looking at Declan Rice, and I'm looking those 2 midfield players. They cover more distance than anybody else in the Premier League. They know what they're doing. West Ham. What will hurt them is their success in the Europa League.
Well, there's a message, and there's one of many. I'm just looking while you two were talking there. There's one, no name in it. Guys, I mean, you're putting Man United ahead of Arsenal to finish 4th. Arsenal have won 7 of the last 9, losing 1. United stumble along, it seems, in almost every game.
Maybe I just wanted to take the pressure off Arsenal a little bit as well.
Oh, I see. There was method in the comment there.
But I do feel, though, that with that squad, if you're a manager now going into a football club and the players they've got at Manchester United, what a fantastic opportunity there to get that right. Mm-hmm. Is he really managing? Is he someone who is more school teacher type, someone who... I think football's linked to emotion.
Oh, yeah.
And when I see the top managers, Klopp, Tuchel, they're really... Pep, they get in there. They're real, they're live. It's not just about theory and all this scientific stuff. It's real. And I think when Ranić gets real, Manchester United might start to improve.
Yeah. I mean, Wenger wasn't exactly the most emotional character.
No,
That's what you think. To be on the inside, a very warm individual, a finger on the pulse for every player, following everyone's career. You've got to do that. You've got to be with every player.
You're judging Tuchel and Klopp by what you see on the touchline. You don't know
Correct.
what they're doing behind the scenes. So they could be equally as unemotional as Wenger was, as emotional, that we didn't see. So the dynamic of it is that we don't know how these managers operate. But I agree with you. I think Ranić is going to alight I think everybody likes the way he speaks. So you listen to those guys that I know the tower line, Scholes and Ferdinand, and they were running down a certain pathway with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but they seem to be. I listened to them after the game against Atletico.
I think
None of them were
Scholes is bang on the money.
Yeah,
He's
I do too.
Absolutely
So
bang
do
on
I
the
agree
money.
with you, yeah.
Always is with his
I think
analysis.
Rio was very
Did
sensible
Wenger
as well
never
the
have
other
you
day.
pinned up against a wall, Martin?
No. That was never his. Jim, if you do that to the players,
Was it
then
the other way around?
Everybody starts acting the same way, don't they? You
Yeah.
create an environment of repeated behaviour.
Yeah.
If people are calm with you, you're calm with them. But you know when to work and when to rest and when to play, don't you?
Okay. It just
And
strikes
we
me.
had that
do anyway.
balance.
It just strikes me as odd that there seem to be very few. I've seen one or two messages, but very few seem to be confident that Arsenal will make top four. And it seems to me that Arsenal very much are looking like credible candidates to be in the top four. You might want to give us a call on that. 03717 223344. Arsenal invincible. Martin Keown says he'd probably take United to be top four ahead of Arsenal.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.